Hi, I'm Judy Marano and welcome to the show. Today I'm here with Bob Zubrycki, violinist, and we're going to be talking about some programming that's happening right here in Putnam County over the next few months. So Bob, how are you?
I'm quite well.
Welcome to our show.
And how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So Bob, I know you're from around here. I know that you're a local boy made famous. So tell me a little bit about growing up in this area.
Well, I am from Carmel, New York originally. Currently I'm in Brewster, but yeah, I grew up in Carmel High School graduate, 1979.
You didn't have to tell us that.
It's been a while. But actually this was a great area to grow up in. Certainly at that time it was very rural and we could run around with our bikes everywhere. My brother and I used to bike to Mayapack and back and go on all sorts of camping adventures, disappear for days without cell phones. You know, it was
And nobody cared.
No one cared. Well, my parents were a little interested, but you know, it was a different time. But the biggest thing that helped me out and helped form me and helped me with what I do today with the violin was the music program at the Carmel school system. At that time, it was a great program. By the time we got to high school, we had 3 years of AP music theory and history. We had 3 orchestras, a pops orchestra, a full orchestra, and a chamber orchestra. We were chosen the best public school orchestra in New York State. My senior year, we went up and played in Albany. I had a 12-tone serial composition that I wrote that was selected and displayed proudly on the wall up in Albany, which is a little odd because musical compositions are meant to be heard,
not looked at, right.
Yeah,
right.
But anyway, it was a nice honor to have. So, I mean, my parents did also give me some private lessons to help supplement what was done in the school. But basically, if that program didn't exist in Carmel, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today.
Did you know back then that you wanted to do this for a living?
Not when I started. I knew that I loved it and I loved music, and I actually played a lot of different instruments before I came to the violin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually we had a wonderful teacher, Mary Allen at the time, who passed away a year or so ago. She was a harpist and she has 3 daughters who became harpists. Barbara, who I'm working with right now at the American Ballet Theater, and Nancy, who is with the New York Philharmonic. And she was one of our public school teachers. So my brother and I actually in 3rd grade took harp lessons with her.
Wow.
She was rather strict. We weren't ready for that yet. So anyway, it took me a little bit longer to, you know, saxophone, viola, you know, before I settled on the violin. Yeah. So
it's the roundabout way to get there.
That was 5th grade. So by the time I got to high school, I basically had to make a decision. And you know, I was very interested, as you know, I'm a gardener as well, and I was interested in sciences and plants. So I had to decide, well, do I want to become a visual artist or, you know, go into the sciences or pursue music? So it was, I think, beginning my sophomore year that I thought I want to go for the music, and at this point I have to make that decision.
Right, because you can't do both.
And yeah, and put in the hours, you know, because it takes time.
And you went to a music college?
I went to SUNY Purchase for my undergraduate, which is also a wonderful program, and took a year off to do some stuff with my string quartet after that, and then went to Manhattan School for a master's.
Wow.
So.
And since then you have been all over the map.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to do more work in Europe. That would be fun. But I've been pretty much all over the map in the United States. The quintet that I have, we did a lot of touring and played everywhere. Helena, Montana to, you know, Southern California, Orange County, and oh yeah, they loved it. Yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous place.
So what kinds of shows do you play? For people who don't know you, what kinds of things do you play? I know you do Broadway. I know you do...
Yeah, I mean, I do a little bit of everything. Currently, I could tell you what's going on, like just this month, next month. Like this Saturday, I'm at Aladdin, so I'm playing some shows there. I am playing a lot at American Ballet Theater at the Met. Currently, I just was there last night. And I also play concertmaster for the New York Chamber Orchestra. So we have 3 concerts coming up at Carnegie in June. This summer, I'll be working with the American Symphony up at Bard College for some of their stuff. I'm a member with that organization as well. So a lot of different things. I mean, I've done a bunch of work on Broadway, certainly. Most recently, She Loves Me, which was on Broadway, and before that, Gentleman's Guide for 2 years with that show.
Do you have a preference?
I kind of love it all. You know,
That's the right answer.
And I'll go back to Carmel High School, and that it gave me. I mean, first of all, having parents that did not judge or sort of gave us the freedom to explore what we wanted to do, and didn't say, "Well, oh no, God, you can't do that. You know, you have to have a fallback."
Dear,
you know,
you
also
can't be a
I
violinist.
can't believe my parents didn't say you have to have a fallback job, but they didn't. But at Carmel, we were exposed to so much. There was this wonderful music library filled with LPs of things like Stockhausen and John Cage and all these very modern, contemporary classical works that you wouldn't expect to find in
At a
a
high
public
school,
school,
right.
in Putnam County at that time.
Right, in the sticks.
Yeah, and then we also did musical theater. I think my first experience there was Anything Goes at Carmel High School, and we did Fiddler on the Roof after that. And at the same time, I was playing over at Old Town Hall, our venue at the theater there, doing musical theater there. So I love that, and I personally believe that that is one of our true art forms in this country. That it's similar to opera was or is in Italy and in Europe. Not that we don't have wonderful composers writing opera here in the States, but I think it's a very important art form and extremely gratifying. So I love that. I love the chamber music, and I still never forget Jake Kellis, our teacher at Carmel High School, leading us at the Pops concert. We did a Pops concert, and one of my favorite things was to play the violin solo in Strangers of the Night. You could milk it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And also we do a Halloween concert for the little kids, playing songs of Dance Macabre. A serious classical piece,
right?
But making it accessible for the children. And I remember seeing that when I was in second and third grade, and being like, "Oh my God, that's so cool!"
So cool, right? Right.
I had no idea I wanted to do that, but at least it was nice to be exposed to it.
Yeah. So you don't have a favorite, but do you have a moment where you think, do you ever have like a starstruck moment where I can't believe I'm doing this right now?
Well, I mean, every time I go to Carnegie Hall, it is really cool that's like
Carnegie Hall.
It's like one of my offices. That's where I get to work. It's a magical place, and playing. This is the first time I've actually played with ABT at the Met. I mean, I've played in the pit of the Met before for other ballet companies, but it's nice to be there. It's Lincoln Center is such a wonderful place too, but that pit has such incredible acoustics. Even when I'm warming up, going over a few notes here and there, I'm like, wow, you can just sort of hear it go up, go up into the rafters.
Yeah.
So those are definitely.
And is there anybody you've ever
moments
played for that you thought, I'm playing for X right now?
Oh gosh, I mean there's a lot, and I'm not always the best with names and stuff, but I mean it was fun to do with Celine Dion on Jimmy Fallon's show. That was hilarious.
That was pretty cool.
That was very cool, and for me getting to rock out, which is not not my usual MO. I mean
a little bit out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, I do it, but it was fun to let loose. I mean, for me, it's.
Was that the first time you were on Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, for him. But I mean, I've done other TV shows, things for other.
And you also do soundtracks for different things, correct? You do some Disney stuff.
Yeah, I mean, mostly recordings for some of their shows. I've done the recording for Aladdin, Little Mermaid, and as well as some other Broadway. Recording things, and occasionally a few things like a Delta Airlines jingle. Okay, we do it all.
I have to say I did not know that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now I need to know, how do you remember all the music?
I don't. I mean, that's for what I do. It's a bit of a different world from someone who goes out there and just performs a concerto and something. My job is whatever they put in front of me, I play.
Okay.
And I have to be able to come to terms with that music and do it very quickly.
Okay, so if you get a piece of music, how long does it take you to be proficient at it?
Well, depends on how much time they give me. It's much, I mean, obviously I'd love to have a few days a week. Sometimes that's not always a luxury.
Really?
Sometimes, it depends on what I'm playing and what it's for. But, sometimes it's the day of.
Wow.
Or a recording situation, there's no rehearsal.
Wow.
You go in there and you read the charts down. So.
And do you get nervous?
Not so much for those things, but I mean, for myself, yes, at times certainly, and I think for most performers, yeah. I mean, nerves or something. It's that adrenaline rush. You walk out on stage, and it's not a natural situation.
No, it's not.
I think somebody tested performers at one point, and they said, that the adrenaline thing that you get, when performing a solo thing on a stage is similar to what fighter pilots get when they're about to drop a bomb. So there is that rush, and you like an actor, or you have that image in your head of what you want to create. You have the situation, you have all that stuff to fall back on, and and hopefully you can channel that energy then into the performance and make it. In some ways, it really helps make it much more exciting because
I don't think it's boring.
You got the rush.
And are you your worst critic? Are you the hardest on yourself?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, you know me. I'm detail-oriented.
I do know that about you.
You do know that about me. So, yes, definitely. I don't listen to myself a lot. Sometimes I'm like, oh, wow, that actually does sound really good, but it's not. I don't go home and put on a CD that I've done.
So the rest of us know you're phenomenal. You just don't bask in that too much. You don't have that ego anyway. That's not you. That's not you.
Yeah, I mean, for what I do, I love to. To me, performing is about being in the moment, and kind of like what we have here. Although this is recorded for posterity on for Channel 8 or for Comcast, but you make a performance and then it's out into the ether. And it stays with people in that moment, but it's kind of ephemeral in a way that it's gone.
Right.
But that moment is so magical.
You want to hang on to that second for just
Yeah, and I think I think that's a little bit lost in today's society where we're so people don't quite understand how exciting it is to go to live performances. Right. When you've got, I mean, I fall prey to this too. I mean, you've got YouTube, you've got all these music sharing services, you've got, it's so easy to find things. And I know visual artists struggle with this too, that you could see Van Gogh, you could see all these great contemporary artists on your computer.
Right.
But it's not.
It's different than standing in the middle of the Louvre, though. I'm sure it is.
Right.
It's.
Yeah, or having something in your home, a piece of art. Or,
Well, that actually leads me to where I'm going to take you next, is this concert series, which is now we're bringing wonderful music to Putnam County.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, and so we, has it been 5 years now? We did the Concerts Around the Corner series at the studio around the corner. But the first one will actually be at Space at Ryder Farm. This will be our second time there. We did.
And for those who don't know, Space at Ryder Farm is off of Starbridge Road, and it's a artists consortium. Is that kind of what it is?
It's sort of an artist retreat, I guess, in a way that where writers and creative people can go and spend a week or two or something developing their project kind of in a safe space.
Right. As a matter of fact, I was there the other day, and somebody was writing a song, and I could hear it like kind of resounding through the fields as I was walking around, and I was like, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not so much performance oriented. They're working on facilitating people to creating things.
On the creative side, right.
So, which is why it's a nice partnership for us, because while we do a little bit of everything, with the Cultural Arts Coalition, we do a lot of performing as well. So that it's a good partnership. Then I think it helps them out to have a nice event on the lawn.
And the grounds are so beautiful. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I think it's one of the oldest organic farms, and certainly it's a historic farm.
Yeah,
here,
I was standing
on
the grounds where the concert is going to be, and to the left of me were all these beautiful purple flowers, and I was like, wow, like it just looked so pretty.
Yeah.
So tell me about the concert. What is the theme of the concert? Who's playing?
Okay, well, this concert is America the Beautiful, and it's a celebration kind of the great melting pot that this country is. So it's a little little bit of everything. I think we have Philip Anderson, the tenor, who sung with us once before on the concert series. He's coming up, and I'll be playing violin with my colleague Laura Bald. Adria Benjamin will be back on viola. Elliot Balin, who I've worked with for many years. I met him first in the 80s with the Chamber Orchestra of New England up in New Haven. So he's a longtime colleague playing cello. And then Nate Brewster, who's a Brewster
resident.
Right. I know, Nate Brewster.
Nate Brewster lives in Brewster.
I know he gets a lot of mileage out of that. He's a percussionist, and he'll be joining us for a few numbers
Oh, so nice.
as
That's
well.
That's a new addition.
Yeah, he'll be playing Piazzolla, which a duet, the Histoire du Tango. We'll do a movement from that for violin and marimba. He'll also do a solo marimba piece by a composer who's from North Salem, keeping it local.
Nice.
And he'll join us on our parade of national anthems, because I figured since it is a celebration of our country and it's close to July 4th,
Right.
we'll sort of do a little history of My Country,
neat.
'Tis of Thee, America the Beautiful, and of course Star Spangled Banner.
Very nice. Will there be any speaking at all, or will it solely be music?
No, there'll be speaking. I'll be giving a little bit of the historical context of the pieces, and also Emily Simones, who runs. She's the head there at Space at Ryder Farm. Her husband, Michael Chernis, will do a few readings as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, and Michael, I think the audiences might remember as being one of the characters on the series Orange is the New Black.
Oh, I did not know that.
There you go. And among other things, I don't know all of his acting credits, but I think that's what most people would probably know him from.
And you've created the program. You've put it together.
Yes. Yeah. And I think he'll read the poem like from the Colossus from the Statue of Liberty. Give us our tired, you're poor, and
Right.
I'm
not going to butcher it. I'm going to just say
and I'm not going to go any further either. But and I think we'll be leading that into God Bless America. So we do want to hit all that, but also a lot of the lesser known things as well, like. There's a wonderful composer known as the Dean of African American Composers, William Grant Still, will be playing his lyric string quartet. There's a 55-year-old composer, American composer Jennifer Higdon, who's very well known in my circles, but probably not a household name.
I've never heard of her.
She did a beautiful arrangement for a string quartet of Amazing Grace.
Oh.
So I think that'll be wonderful in that setting, as well as a sort of a Southern country reel, which is.
Nice. So remind me, when is this concert? When is the concert again, so we can remind people?
It's June 17th at 7:30 p.m. at Space on Ryder Farm, and the ground's actually open at 6:30 if you want to.
And is there bring your own chair, bring your own?
Yeah, they do have some chairs there, but you might want to bring your own, especially if, who knows, you want something that you're comfortable in, or you can bring a blanket, certainly bring a picnic. We encourage that.
And of course, we'll be providing some little nashi stuff for people to.
How lovely.
Okay.
That sounds great.
It's hopefully going to be a beautiful night.
Yes, and if it is not a beautiful night, we'll be at the studio around the corner.
Okay, so that's the backup plan.
That's the backup plan, yes.
Okay,
And if it's too cold, if it's like 57 like it was on Monday, we'll opt for the studio.
Our beautiful violin doesn't play at 57, does it?
No, no. My although I like to think this violin is from the year 1700 in Milan, Italy. So I do baby it a little bit, but I also think, I'm sorry, in 1700 they did not have air conditioning.
No, they didn't.
It was probably really damn hot. In
And it worked
Milan.
fine.
Yeah. It's like they're tougher. I mean, obviously it survived 317 years,
And
so
where did you get it from?
they're tougher than we think.
Yeah.
I actually bought this at an auction up in Boston.
Wow.
Which was
And do you have only one violin?
No, I have another, but I don't like it much. I don't play it often.
It sits on the shelf feeling sad.
Put it in the closet, in the case. Yeah, I play it, once or twice a year.
This is your extension of you.
Yeah, I feel this is my voice. So
So I know there's more concerts coming up. We can talk a little bit about some of the other concerts.
Sure. Yeah, the other concerts we have on July 9th at the studio around the corner. It's a Sunday at 5 p.m. So that will be a concert of kind of a traditional chamber music event with Mendelssohn's Elegiac Trio and the Brahms Piano Quartet.
Same
in
people.
C minor.
The same people will be attending. Same people will be playing.
Some of the same people. We'll have Jennifer Tao on piano. we would love to have her at Space on Writer Farm, but
There's no piano outside.
There's no piano out there. We got a marimba, but
Okay.
no piano. Oh, other thing, just quickly about the Space concert. We will be mentioning about, historically how it's the 100th anniversary of the United States entering World War I.
Oh.
At that point. So we will, touch on that as mentioning about how certain composers were very much affected by that.
Mm-hmm.
So Philip Anderson and I will do a few selections from a Vaughan Williams song cycle, as Vaughan Williams was actually a medic in World War I and was certainly deeply affected by all that went on there. So anyway, so July 9th is the next one in the series, so Brahms and Mendelssohn, and we'll have another piece to be determined there, and it's Jennifer Tao on piano, myself, Kathy Cherubis will be joining us on cello that time, who's been here before, and Adria will again be here on viola. And then last year we started a new portion of the series, the Next Generation.
Okay.
So for that, that's going to be organized by Jessica Stein, who's a local trumpet player, recent college graduate.
Master's graduate.
Yeah, she just got her master's at SUNY Purchase in trumpet performance. So she'll be doing it along with Sasha Ono, who's a wonderful cellist and is currently teacher in the Brewster School system. So they're doing the Next Generation series, which
Very
will be
nice.
late September, early October. We haven't chosen a date. And then in November, it'll be some performers from the Bard College Conservatory program
Very nice.
coming down to do some chamber music for us.
And that's part of a master's program or part of an undergraduate program?
Bard College has an extensive music program up there. They have it's an undergraduate program for music, but they actually do 2 degrees in the conservatory program. So they have to have double majors. Like
Oh, wow.
one gal I was talking to was doing French literature and violin performance.
Oh,
It's like,
that's an interesting
wow.
mix. Okay.
Yeah, it would be nice to, sometimes I wish I was pushed towards that, but that's actually becoming very common now in a lot of these conservatory programs. Is double majors like that. So
I love the idea of bringing kids young people in. That's great.
Yeah, it's nice. So that's a great program. They do have a master's there as well. I think most of the kids who will be there will be through the conservatory program because they have the more active chamber music thing.
Perfect.
And then on January 1st, we're once again having our New Year's Day concert for Peace, which was so popular this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a really nice event
And that'll be, again, it'll be some chamber music. Hopefully
it'll be some chamber music.
Poetry again.
Yes,
It'll be
exactly.
a little bit of reflection. It'll be a little bit of...
Right. Just
a little bit.
A way to set the New Year's off, begin your
Yeah.
year in a meditative, contemplative way. And
Yeah.
you read
I did.
on the last year.
I did.
And in a peaceful way.
Yeah, it was a beautiful event last year, and
Yeah.
I was so shocked as we were having people standing room only for that one, which
Yeah.
was amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
That was lovely. And so this year, what we're planning, and hopefully it'll work out, I'm waiting for confirmation from my cellists, is the Schubert Quintet for 2 cellos,
Nice.
which is a really wonderful piece. And also Alison Denny, who's a local artist who does abstract photography and video, like major installations. And we've talked about doing some video of her work in conjunction with a concert. So,
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it should be very
Just
special.
gotta make it bigger and better every
special
year.
event. Of course, that's what we try to. Anyway, but yeah, so that's a series for this
So
year.
if we didn't know there was music in Brewster, there's music in Brewster,
Yes, yeah.
and it's amazing.
Yeah, we have some nice stuff, and of course there's other groups in the Putnam crowd. There's other groups doing wonderful things, wonderful things here as well.
This is a nice series for the summer. I think people look forward to it, and I think people remember it from the year before, and they want to come back for more, which is a really nice thing.
Yes.
Terrific. So, couple, you're a professional now. This is what you do. If someone had said to you, Bob, how do I get to this? What would your advice be to them? I always like to finish with a kind of a motivative sort of, how do I become you? It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, like anything, in some ways it's like being an athlete. I think a lot of people can relate to that too. I mean, it's a lot of hours, and you have to certainly love it, and be dedicated to pursuing it, but also patient, because it's never a direct road. Things
Right.
will change.
Right.
The business changes. I find myself still having to reinvent myself. Jobs come and go, or various things. So, you have to be flexible. I'd say the main thing is to find a coach, a teacher that you like, you're comfortable with, and work with them. As a young student, that's very, very important. And then expose yourself to as many things as you can.
Like you were saying, Carmel allowed you to do that. You got
Yes.
to really touch your feet on different kinds of things.
Right. And certainly the hours practiced are very important, but I always had a problem with people saying you have to practice 3 or 4 hours a day. I think you have to be smart about your practice. You have to be targeted. You have to, you certainly have to put in the hours to get the work done. But there's certainly ways of going about it without
Making it drudgery.
Going crazy. Yeah. But the importance of doing something every day. I think, who was it? Oh, the famous pianist who, escaping me. I think the famous saying is like, if I don't practice one day, I know. If I don't practice 2 days, someone else would know. In 3 days, everyone's going to know.
Everyone's gonna know,
It's like,
right.
and so, that daily experience, just like if you're an athlete too.
Exactly.
It's
Well, that makes
you
sense
kind
to
of
me.
keep. We're just smaller muscles.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for coming in today. I am so excited about the concert series, and if you want tickets for the concert series, you can log on to www.oththeater.org, or is there any other way to get tickets?
Oh yes, through the Space
at Ryder Farm.
Space on Ryder Farm
Space
for
at Ryder
the
Farm. For the
June
first
17th concert. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I look forward to all the wonderful music you're bringing, and congratulations on all the wonderful things that you do.
Thank you, Judy. It was fun.